Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to a new video. And if you're new here, welcome. Today I've got a video with a specific theme that I'm really excited to share. I'll dive into that in a bit, but first I want to talk about how I approach making this illustration, or rather this sketchbook spread. It's a little different from how I usually do things, and I thought it'd be fun to walk you through my process step by step. So normally when I sit down with my sketchbook, I don't really plan my spreads in advance. I just grab my pencils or pens and start drawing whatever I feel like. And the page sort of evolves naturally as I go. But this time I wanted to approach it differently for two reasons. First, the theme of this spread is much more specific than usual. And second, I wanted the two pages to look cohesive, like they flowed together nicely. You know that feeling when a sketchbook spread just works as a whole? That's what I was aiming for here. To achieve that, I decided to plan everything digitally before committing it to paper. Honestly, I don't do this often, but I thought it might be helpful in this case. I started by taking a photo of my sketchbook with both pages open, then imported it to Procreate, and from there I sketched it directly on top of the photo, playing around with proportions, adjusting the poses, and figuring out how to balance everything across both pages. It was like a rough draft, but in digital form, and it allowed me to tweak things quickly without worrying about erasing or reading the paper. Once I had the digital sketch finalized, I transferred it to paper. Now I could just kept everything digital and finished it that way, but honestly I really prefer traditional drawing. There is something about the physical process of working with paper and pencils that feels so much more satisfying to me. It's like I'm more connected to the artwork. Of course, the downside is that traditional doesn't have an undo button, which I definitely missed when I made mistakes or accidentally smudged something. For the sketch on paper, I use color pencils. Recently, I've been obsessed with these mechanical pencils I picked up during my trip to Japan. They are super convenient because you don't have to sharpen them constantly, and the lids last a good while without breaking. I've been using them for most of my sketching lately, and they've definitely become my go-to tools. Now, let's talk about the theme of this spread: rats. Yes, you heard me right. I decided to draw a bunch of cute little rats. The idea came out from my love for the movie Ratatouille. I've always found the concept of arts as chefs, so I thought, why not run with that idea? I started by sketching out some simple rat designs and then added little food-related details to tie everything together, like carrots, strawberries, and even a sprig of parsley here and there. The parsley thing, by the way, is a little personal quirk. I always use parsley when I cook because I feel like it adds such a nice touch of green, so it felt fitting to include it here. When it came to coloring the rats, I wanted to do something little unconventional. Instead of sticking to realistic rat colors like gray, brown, or white, I experimented with brighter, more playful colors. I tried pinks, blues, and purples, and digital sketching was super helpful for testing out different palettes. One of the best things about working digitally is how easy it is to adjust colors without committing to anything permanently. Once I settle on a color scheme, I like to recreate it on paper, and I'm so happy with how it turned out. Speaking of the rats themselves, I kept the design pretty simple and stylized. They are not anatomically accurate at all. In fact, they are almost geometric in shape with exaggerated proportions and big round features. I wasn't too concerned with realism, I just wanted them to look cute and whimsical. Honestly, I think the only reason you can tell they're rats is because of their big ears and little whiskers. Otherwise, they could probably pass for some other kind of animal. One thing I love about drawing these rats is how versatile they are. You can stretch and squash them into all kinds of poses. They are like little rectangular blobs with legs and tails, and that makes them super fun to draw. Whether they are standing, sitting, or reaching for a piece of cheese, they always look adorable. If you've never drawn rats before, I highly recommend giving it a try. They are surprisingly easy to work with, and their little features make them endlessly charming. Oh, and here's a fun fact. When I was working digitally, I used a specific brush to mimic the texture of pencil strokes. It's one of my favorite techniques because it gives the artwork a more traditional feel, even though it's digital. I like when you can see the direction of the strokes. It adds a sense of movement and texture that makes the piece feel more alive. For this spread, I used that technique to suggest the texture of the fur of the rats, and I think it worked pretty well. Anyway, that's the story behind the spread. I had so much fun working on it, and I hope it inspires you to experiment with your own sketchbooks. If you do end up drawing rats, or anything inspired by this video, please tag me on my Instagram, it's Diary of Tessa. I'd love to see what you create. Also, I just want to say a huge thank to everyone who's been supporting my channel. We're so close to hitting 500 subscribers, yay! And I am honestly over the moon about it. The love and encouragement I receive from this community means so much to me, and it makes all the effort of filming, editing, and balancing this with my full-time job so worth it. So thank you for being here and for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out and keeps me motivated to create more content for you all. Also, follow me on TikTok and Instagram for more updates and behind the scenes stuff. And see you on next video. Bye!